Writing and getting published makes me feel like I didn't go through the care system for no reason. That is the name of this article I wrote. I am reading it out from my daughter's phone. I can't wear these, like the ring light's just going to piss me and all of you off. I always loved writing stories when I was a child. It took me away from real life. I said this before in another video. When I read like one of my articles out loud, I feel like I have like this telephone voice on and I can hear it now. I always loved writing stories when I was a child. It took me away from real life. In my stories, I could be wherever I wanted, doing whatever made me happy. I enjoyed it so much that in school, I used to get in trouble for either writing over the assigned word count or writing rather than doing my schoolwork. I didn't let this deter me though, and the longer I wrote, the more my work improved. But when I was taken into care aged 15, my writing became less frequent, and within a few months I'd stopped completely and lost interest in most of my hobbies. My mood had dropped, and since I was no longer attending school, there was no one around who wanted to read my work. I did continue to read though. That kept me sane. I'm a massive reader. At the age of 21 though, 5 years after I left foster care, I rediscovered my love of writing. It happened when I read my foster care files and a fleeting thought told me my life on paper sounded like a story. Because it fucking does. That's when I realised that my experience in foster care and everything that came with it could be useful, insightful and helpful to children who had experience of the foster care system, or it could also help professionals within the care system. One day I was scrolling through Twitter and I heard about an organisation called Quorum Voice. This organisation championed the rights of children in care and also care leavers. I saw a tweet they had made about the annual National Creative Writing Competition they hold for young people in care and care leavers. I'd always been pushed aside and left out because of my care status. Now it felt like I could use it for an opportunity. For my competition entry, I decided to write a poem, something I'd never done before. I also chose to write about my experience in a very raw and honest way, as I knew there would be no judgment. I will never read that poem out loud because hold on. Everyone entering the competition was either in or had been through the foster care system. I submitted my poem and 2 months later I received an email from Quorum Voice. Congratulations, it read. You have been shortlisted. I couldn't believe I had been selected as a finalist. Just like that, my confidence started to return. Writing about my life and its complexities felt more natural, but most importantly, more rewarding. I loved writing about my life because I could just write. I didn't have to think of plot twists or what happens next. I already knew. It was also an outlet for me and a way of taking my power back. For years, I had been ashamed of growing up in care and would try to protect myself by keeping it a secret. And I know a lot of people in care can relate to that. While hiding provided temporary relief, I was never quite myself around others and would constantly overthink before I spoke in case I gave something about my past away accidentally. By being open and putting my writing out there for anyone to see, it was my way of saying to myself and the world that I was fine. I wasn't ashamed, and if anything, I was proud. It also made me realise that I hadn't given my friends enough credit. They were more understanding and welcoming of my past than I could have imagined. They could tell I wasn't ever quite myself around them, and they were happy they finally knew why. There is a growing body of evidence to support the positive benefits of writing for children in care. Increased access to creative activities and the arts more generally for children and young people who have spent time in care has also proved beneficial. Despite leaving high school with no qualifications, missing out on the A star in English I'd always wanted, I've somehow managed to make a side career out of writing for national newspapers and magazines and earn money to provide things for my daughter that I didn't have at her age, such as swimming lessons, a bike, and too many toys. Growing up in care, I never felt accepted. I cannot express how important it was for my mental health to tell my story and realise that not all people would stigmatise me the way I felt stigmatised as a child. Coming second place in the Voices 2019 competition boosted my confidence and helped me trust in my potential again. Writing and getting published makes me feel like I didn't go through the care system for nothing. So yeah, I came second place in this competition in the care leaver category, which was amazing. I will never read that poem out though, because it's so... How old was I when I wrote it? I was 20, I don't know, I think I was like 23. And it's not a bad poem, like it, you know, I came second place, but I get really embarrassed reading it back. Like I still have it, but like I will never read it out loud. I don't like it anymore. But I am glad I submitted it.